CRiiiME is a show where I, Rich Slaton, read a true story about lawbreakers.
Because if he doesn't, he'll get a beating from his alpha male co-host, Jonathan Shefsky.
Oh, you're bringing the heat now,
That's
huh?
right. I bring heats. I bring everything. I bring heat.
You got hands for me?
Skeets, sheets on the streets. And also, I bring the theme song.
Play the music.
Bitch.
CRiiiME is the show that starts now.
Like right now?
Oh, yeah, do your line.
Okay. Each week, Rich reads a real crime story. I don't know a word that rhymes with story.
And my homie John always has the hot riff. He really loves it when you send...
Don't send anything to me.
him.
Don't you dare.
CRiiiMEpodcast@gmail.com.
Don't you send
Label
anything.
it John Shefsky. He loves them. Make sure the lighting's really good.
Hey, criminals. Welcome back. It's so good for you to be here with us. It makes our hearts warm and grow and big.
It gives us purpose.
Oh, the only purpose we really have in life now is just talking to you good people.
I wouldn't go that far.
Encouraging you to go out and break the law and create more opportunities for this show.
That is not what this show
to be
is about.
super awesome.
You guys follow the law and be decent humans.
If you do break the law, then you'll probably cause someone else to need to go to our good friends at C3 Risk and Insurance Services.
Oh, yeah, you got to go see Joe Erle over there. They've got insurance for everything, including intro insurance. So if you mess up an intro when you're doing a podcast,
fairly sure he has that.
They will pay for it. They are amazing. You got to go there and get a policy from him.
Go to c3insurance.com, hit up our buddy Joe Erle. If you get a policy from him, he'll give you a $25 Amazon gift card that you can use on pretty much whatever Amazon sells that is $25 or less or more. You can add it off. Whatever, dog. Who gives a shit?
Either way, if you tell him that Shefsky sent you, he'll give you a good deal because he loves me.
And an even better deal.
I don't know if this is a better deal.
I mean, it's also it's a pretty good deal. Look, guys, this is the reality of life is that it ends.
I'm gonna be square with you.
It ends.
People die.
And sometimes you don't want to keep the body like around or underground or whatever.
You don't want your grandma to be rotten in your room.
You want to burn that shit up.
Burn your grandma up.
And then you have the ashes. What do you do with them? You hit up our friends at A Piece That Remains. Our good buddy Dee Kettleson. She makes art using the ashes of your dead loved ones or pets. She'll make paintings, necklaces, any way for you to keep their remains close and beautiful. She also does art that's not involving dead bodies. So if you just are into her super cool art, which we post on our social media, check her out, apiecethatremains.com, and she'll give 10% off to our CRiiiME listeners. Get that dope art, bruh.
And still a piece remains. Whoa, whoa.
And still a few tickets remain for CRiiiME Live Saturday, March 17th, live from the Comedy Store.
Stop talking like that, Slaton.
Jonathan Shefsky, Rich Slaton with special guest Jeremiah Watkins.
Oh, it's going to be great, dude. Jeremiah's excited.
I will not be wearing a purple shirt. I promise that.
That is how you show respect
I am
to
also,
your podcast mates.
Just so, I will not be wearing... Other people might.
No.
Other people might wear purple shirts, like everyone in attendance other than me.
The Color Purple is a movie, and let's keep it at that.
Speaking of the color purple, today's guest...
I don't understand that riff, but I saw what it did to our guest's facial expression, and I think you're in trouble, Slaton.
He wasn't in it, but he is the creator of one of the most popular, fastest growing shows on the planet called The Roast Battle, now in the UK of all places.
Yeah, all right, mate.
He's probably the best dressed guy at the Comedy Store at this particular moment.
That's a lie. He's a good friend of mine, I'll be honest.
Put your virtual hands together for Brian Moses!
Yes!
I do like this is the Bill and Ted Scream podcast, by the way.
Oh, it feels so good. It's like busting a nut.
We just bring that energy up, bro.
Yeah, it's my second time on the podcast. I'm excited.
I know. Welcome back.
Thank you. You guys have changed the name.
Yeah, well, we used to be CRiiiME with an exclamation point.
Yeah, now you're CRiiiME.
No one could find
Isn't that fun? Yeah, it's so much more fun to go CRiiiME. Well, actually, I think we always went CRiiiME, but then we actually just changed the spelling.
Yeah,
you might remember.
It's more like an Italian opera now. I like it.
You might remember Mr. Motherfucking Moses from the story of Clay Allison, who was a gunfighter who liked to get into naked knife fights.
One of my
pits.
favorites.
Yeah.
I still get dick pics from you.
Oh, it's so great, man. That's what I go for. It's not as great, though, as today's story about Samuel E. Mullet.
Sammy Mullet! Oh, it's
wait. That's a real name?
His name, Mullet.
Did he coin the mullet?
No, because this is a more recent story, and the mullet is one of the most long and respected haircuts in our country. The mullet, little known fact, was invented in 1633 by another Sam Mullet. Interesting story. That all of this I'm making up right now.
You're an idiot, and I didn't believe you. I didn't believe him. Never believed that.
Samuel E. Mullet was born in 1945 and grew up 40 miles east of Cleveland, Ohio, in the Middlefield Amish settlement.
This is an Amish dude?
We're
What year is
going
this again?
Amish today.
So-
he was born in 45.
So
45.
mullet-
Okay, so this is wartime.
Oh, yeah, right in the thick of it.
Ooh, nice.
the 45, the thick of it? I thought it ended in 46.
I mean, yeah, but this is
What's
this is
your
probably when it's-
definition of in the thick of?
I mean,
Bro,
people are
business
dying.
in the front, party in the back.
Boom.
It's a mullet story.
That's what's up. His father, I feel like they sell mullets, but only at farmers markets. They do like farmers market
Organic.
haircuts. Yeah.
non-GMO.
Maybe his last name was Millet. Isn't that like a style
No, it's
of-
mullet.
Okay.
It's mullet.
Because, they mill things.
Sam's father, Eli, was an ordained preacher who would eventually go on to become the bishop for their small community.
All right. So he had a fun beard.
Like most Amish children of his generation, Sam attended public school from 1st to 4th grade, then transferred to an Amish private school where he received the remainder of his formal education, which ended with middle school.
By the way, if they called more cults private schools, I feel like more people would be apt to join them.
Yeah, and they'd be like, oh, $40,000 a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to make my kid have a chance.
That's money or is that people?
No, $40,000 a year to join the cult.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because then now your kid has access.
Oh, wait, who had $40,000 back then?
In
Who has
1945?
$40,000 now?
All right, first of all, John.
What?
That's a teacher's salary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have to
Go
spend
be a
it on their
teacher.
rent, and they got to buy apples and oranges and
Pencils,
pencils and
guns,
But they
gun
can-
holsters,
they can make all those
bullets.
That's
all the
the Amish. The
important-
Amish make all those things. So they're not really worried about those kind
Ooh,
of
yeah.
expenses.
That's right. Wooden apples and wooden guns.
With an 8th grade diploma in hand, Sam Mullet was now ready for life as an Amish adult.
At 1946?
So he was born in 45. This is now we're reaching late
53?
50s.
57.
Oh, TV's happening at this point. Okay, that's good.
Oh, yeah. He's got
I mean, not
Colgate.
for them.
Right.
Come on. TV's happening, radio, the motorized car,
Right,
all
right.
these things that they
Yeah.
don't fuck with.
They have,
Yeah.
they have a wooden TV. They just you change the dial. It's still just wood.
Well, they have a wooden TV, but there's no TV. It's just two people behind it with puppets. And you change the dial. Like, I don't like this show. They change it. They pull out two new puppets.
I approve of that. That's better than TV.
It's
That's
just like
better.
Game of Thrones. They show like some of those theater things.
Well, there is
But
cousin
you have to
fucking.
have HBO to show that. But
They have someone in the corner whose job is to just hum all the theme songs for their shows. Can you put on Game of Thrones?
You're watching HBO Home Box Amish.
The Amish, as we know them today, broke off from the Swiss Anabaptists in the 1700s over the issue of how to treat the fallen believers.
What does that mean? Should we beat them?
While Reistians believed the offenders should merely be denied communion,
Wait, Reistians, is that an Asian thing?
yes, an Asian
was-
thing in Europe.
That is very racist.
In 1700s
that-
Europe,
that's-
super Asian.
Rice? What is Riceus?
Oh, I see what you said. I see what you were doing there because
You're
rice.
sounding kind of racist.
No, I'm being honest.
The
No,
Reistians
I'm
were
being
named
Amish.
after.
If I'm being perfectly Amish,
You wouldn't even be here right now. There's a lot of electronic equipment
that's-
here. Yeah.
The Amish, on the other side, argued for shunning, meaning the band should be generally avoided even at common meals.
really, that's really good for tightening the family unit right there.
Shunning on Sundays, yeah.
The lifestyle of the Amish is governed by the Ordnung, the German word for order. At its
That sounds like it hurts.
Oh, yeah. What's up with this? This Nazi Amish camp that's happening.
They stick the ordnung in you if you're bad.
Or
at-
9.
At the core of their value is the rejection of Hochmut, pride, arrogance, and haughtiness, and the high value placed on Demut, humility, and Gelassenheit, calmness, composure, and placidity.
Sounds like a great life in the cooch. Very strict.
Oh yeah, I mean they like to party. Every once in a while, they'll get
Classic
together and they'll
Amish.
whistle together.
Are
As
you
a group.
serious?
Yeah, they'll whistle in harmony. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what you can do to have fun when you don't have any
No,
electricity.
don't only bring the facts, Rich.
You could do a ton of, if you're gone camping, you could do a ton of stuff that's fun without electricity.
I've never heard of it.
But all these other rules are what makes it kind of scary.
The modest style of dress, the rejection of technology, and the insular lifestyle all stem from these values.
Ted Kaczynski.
While precise practices differ, the Amish generally agree on the core values of simplicity, humility, mutual aid, and a commitment to nonviolence.
That's the same
and
model.
only white people.
I mean, yeah. Let's go back for a second, and if we really look at Scripture,
Yeah.
if there's one thing God was clear about was whites only.
Which is crazy, by the way, God. There's no white people like when people were reading that book.
Yeah, it's so
the
weird.
Middle East.
And the original Jews were like, and then God said, only white people can eat here. So we all have to leave now, I guess.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. You just rewrite it for whoever your group is, and you go like, "It's made for us." See,
Thank you,
Jesus is he's a Peruvian guy, clearly, because we're Peruvian. It's
Jesus the Peruvian.
right.
That's a terrible CBS sitcom.
Hey, the last meal though would have been bomb, right? Peruvian food.
The commitment to nonviolence.
I have some
world.
plantains with my Jesus. Some black beans. Thank you guys so much. Oh, you're a good Peruvian
Can I
food?
get some yellow sticky rice?
Oh, that sounds so good.
The commitment to nonviolence presented a challenge.
Judas, may I have the rest of your lomo saltado? Oh, gracias, mi amigo.
You really researched your Peruvian delicacies.
That's
there.
all I know.
That's all.
That's their cheeseburgers.
Yeah,
lomo
we do
saltado.
one episode a year where he just talks. He does a script, but it's all just Peruvian recipes.
I'm so hungry.
And I try to riff
Stop.
over it.
I should never have brought this up. I eat a fried plantain, some arroz, and some pollo, please.
All right.
The commitment to nonviolence presented a challenge when Sam was drafted into service during the war in Vietnam.
You could be a medic or a mathematician.
Many Amish young men were lucky enough to receive special deferments to continue working on their family farms. Unfortunately for Sam, his family worked in lumber.
So it sucked that he didn't go to war. He's like,
Wait a
"Fuck
minute.
it."
So he was in Vietnam, but they have like walkie-talkies and radios out
No,
there.
he
Well,
didn't go.
hold
He
on.
didn't go.
Well, hold on.
He had to stay home and do lumber.
But the government did recognize his religious status as a conscientious objector, so he spent 2 years in a federally approved alternative service program,
Oh, that's cool.
working as an orderly in a hospital for the mentally ill.
Oh, that sounds depressing.
He later described his duties as general care and orderly work, quote, to shave them, give them haircuts, see to it that they took their baths.
That sounds awful.
Bathe old crazy men.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure mental care in the fucking 50s was,
was-
laughably scary and what do they call it? Archaic or draconian?
So that
I
movie
just-
came from, right? Like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh yeah, dude. There you go, right there.
How many fluids did get on you in that job when you're like, all right, just get in the bath, please?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't even think it's like that. I think just when you're around that kind of stuff, like poop's gonna get flung.
A lot.
By
of
the
poop.
way, I mean that's an alternative job. By the way, so that's not like nobody's first choice. It's just like they just put somebody there.
No.
Can I go
That's
get
awful.
shot instead?
Yeah, exactly.
please?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, if you don't do that, you got to go hang out with the crazy guys and bathe them.
After 6 months, he requested a transfer to Phnom Penh.
I don't know where Phnom Penh is, but if we've done a story on it,
It's Sean Penn's sister.
Yeah, yeah.
Chill out.
After his service,
it's a nice rim shot. It's Sean Penn's sister, kid. Move on with your story.
After his service, 20-year-old Sam had reached the traditional age for marriage amongst the more conservative Amish sects.
Yo, did he bone
What year
when
is
he
that?
wasn't?
What age is that?
He's 20 years old. He's born in 45, so this is 65.
Hey,
Okay,
did,
nice.
did he bone at all? Like when he was like working at the mental place?
So Sam,
Not one of the mental people, like one of his coworkers. Like, you're talking in the break room with one of your coworkers. You're like, man, all these mental people keep throwing poop at us. And she's like, yeah, it's pretty gross. Like, you want to get something to eat after we're done bathing them and shaving them?
It's Quaker Interrupted.
They go up.
So Sam, the third of 12 children, married Martha Miller, who was one of 17. Both of their families were somewhat large, even by the more conservative Amish standards that usually produce 6 to 10 children
There's
for
like
a family.
40 people for Friday dinner. No wonder the parents are all stressed out, not letting anyone do anything with technology. You'll
Not-
make more kids.
Yeah.
If you see those TVs, you'll start getting those boners, and then you'll make more kids. We don't have enough butter.
As men of the tribe, you guys know about this, because like every Friday you guys have to you guys can't touch Jesus.
Oh.
You guys can't
Rim
touch
shot
the.
before the
We never,
punchline.
first of all, we never touched Jesus.
No, I mean like the electricity, right?
Oh yeah. Jews have a funny rule,
Every
but they have
Friday,
an even
right?
more silly rule than that. Okay, let me just say for listeners that don't know, Jews have a rule. Slaton knows as well.
Sure.
He's like waiting. He's a better Jew than me. So
I'm
he's
waiting.
like,
I'm
let me
waiting.
let
Which rule
Shefsky-
you're gonna say?
Let me let Shefsky
I mean,
fuck
but
it up.
not aesthetically though.
For the Sabbath, you're not. Isn't it ironic?
Excuse me, I'm a 6 foot tall, blonde hair, blue eyed Jew. I might not take care of the truck, but it's got good damn bones. All right.
All right, Adolf. Hang on a second
Thank
now.
you.
Am I right? Yeah?
Am I right?
I'm the future of
Am I
Judaism.
right? Everything's going to be alt right. Okay, here we are. Jews on the Sabbath aren't allowed to do any work. Mm-hmm. Okay,
You're right. You're right so far.
so they
white,
get
you're white.
a Shabbos, Sabbath, Hebrew for Sabbath, Shabbos. They get a goy, which is a non-Jew.
So this
Shabbos
is-
goy
Black Shabbos.
to go and help them turn on their lights or go in the oven or do all those other stuff. They're like, "Hey,
Go
we
in the
need-"
oven?
No, that's not.
John.
Don't
You're
go
very
those-
specifically not supposed to do what he's talking about.
Moses is doing Holocaust jokes. Okay. And you don't even have to do it. That's how good Moses is. He actually let someone else do a Holocaust joke. Go in the oven like a pizza in Auschwitz? Yeah. So anyways.
Nagila pizza.
All right.
I've been
So
there.
what happens is they hire a
Not to be-
non-Jew. Okay, go on.
Not to be outdone, Martha and Sam popped out 18 children,
Cream pie, cream pie, cream pie, cream pie, cream pie.
They loved it.
an even split of boys and girls.
Dude, how good is your cum?
really?
8 kids.
9 and 9.
They went 50-50, 9 and 9.
That's all right.
They could have baseball versus softball. It's
That's
great.
actually pretty incredible.
I know.
An even split. Is that a real thing?
Do you think he had one ball was for boys and the other was for girls?
I mean, I'll give him that. That's
You
incredible.
just squeeze-
Actually.
you're like,
Dude,
I
9 and 9.
I need a
That's
new girl. Let me
awesome.
squeeze the right one
You
harder
can
this time.
No, you just choose when you're coming. Like you meditate on it. So when you come, you go, go make yourself into a boy. And then a boy will appear.
It's that simple?
Well, I don't know if it's that simple, but
Is that how you got your boy?
You have to reach enlightenment first.
I asked for a Pokemon character.
As a quick note, the Amish are one of the fastest growing populations in the world.
Still?
In 1992, they had about 120,000 people in the U.S., and now, or maybe 160,000. Now they're over like 310, 315.
What happened? Why such a spike?
Because they have like 18 fucking kids. I mean, even the more even like the less crazy ones are having 7 or 10.
I think that's not fair
They
to
don't
the
use
kids.
condoms, right?
The kids don't get a chance to you need undivided attention every now and then. If you have that many kids, you know how hard it is to
Yeah,
get
you get your
parents-
attention from the kid above you.
That's not good.
It's like
parental
a
attention.
chain of massages.
That's not a really good way to describe it.
While the mullets were busy making love.
I just
sounds like a
imagine
slur, by
I
the
imagine
way.
people turning their heads backwards and letting mullets see each other and then grinding them together.
The Middlefield Amish community was going through a bad breakup. Oh, no. The split was over an old argument about the practice of shunning. Sam believed in the strictest version of the practice in which good members may not engage with the bad in many ways, including sitting with them for meals, accepting rides, or even shaking their hand. But eventually, even that was too lenient for the mullets.
Probably just afraid they'd get pregnant. Don't shake anyone's hand.
So in 1977, Sam and Martha packed up their kids and moved to a new, more conservative settlement in Fredericktown, Ohio.
More conservative settlement. Oh, dude, you're going backwards, you know. You're
Here's
going
what's crazy.
backwards.
So there is actually a pretty wide variety of Amish practice. Some Amish are like what you think, where there's no electricity, nothing at all.
Yeah.
Some Amish are allowed to even use the internet as long as it's heavily filtered and only in certain times.
Oh, really?
Really?
There's a wide variety of Amish practice now of how they engage with stuff.
I heard that they
There's on Wikipedia. There's a chart of how different Amish sects, like how they break down yes versus no for what technology. Like these ones can use indoor plumbing. These ones can't. These ones can use a gas lamp. These
Yeah,
ones can't.
it's like all the
Really?
religions. They all
Yeah.
their different levels of people trying to negotiate with a with the religion. Like this is still good, right? In God's eyes, okay, we can do that. We can do this or that.
I mean, religion is just structure. I understand, but man, there's some rules in there. That's fucked up.
It's kind of silly, some of it, right?
So they moved to Fredericktown, Ohio, where that community rejected many modern conveniences accepted by some Amish. To this day, they even refuse photographs because they are a graven image.
Really?
Graven.
Graven. It
Or
makes you
maybe
think of gravy. Yummy. Dip my biscuits.
Maybe it's
in that.
Craven image. I don't remember which one it is.
think-
Craven or Graven.
I'm
You wrote this story.
I just don't remember which one it was, man. Sometimes I write 4,000 words and I one slips through the cracks.
No. You gotta
fair
be
point.
good. You gotta be good.
Anyone
Guys,
else craving
I'm going to
gravy?
leave for a while, rewrite the story from
Thank
scratch,
you.
come back.
All right,
You guys
John,
do what you do.
We have to talk about some things, John.
Yeah, we got stuff we got to go over.
But even this group was too lenient for the mullets. Sam could not get along with community leaders, becoming known for aggressively vocalizing his disagreements. While he was repeatedly nominated for ordination, he never received any position in leadership. So in 1995,
What?
he bought 800 Lakers.
Whoa!
I was gonna say, how many people do they have players on a lot of benches on backup?
That's
800.
Like how many G leagues are there?
He invested in the G League, the D League, created an A League for some reason.
CBA came back a little bit. Yeah. Took a
He bought-
CBA Chinese team.
He bought 800 acres of used up mining land and started his own settlement.
Nice. That sounds cool.
Colt.
The Bergholes community.
You said burger holes?
Bergholes.
Berg holes?
Bergholes.
Burgles.
Bugoolery.
Oh, Bugoolery Berg holes.
Or the Berg, because like Berg is a big thing for your tribe.
For the Jews. I get it. I see where you're going.
So those holes.
Boig holes.
Yeah.
Oh, the boig holes and the steen holes are the. Oh,
Jewish sluts, yeah. The
I put
Berg
it
holes.
right in a Berghole.
Oh, you would.
I took my diamond shaft and I put it in a berg hole, and now we have a little schmoil.
The Bergholes community would be built around his standards. Gone were things like pressurized water,
Y'all gotta
indoor
stop messing with these
bathrooms,
Berg holes.
and modern tools for carpentry.
Oh my God. You got all the cool shit.
Fashion guidelines were strict. As Martha said, quote, They only allow dark-colored dresses, no box-shaped or fancy caps, which is way out of hand in most settlements.
How horny
and is
are these
out of
people?
control.
How just held back from sex are you that you're just like, oh my god, we can't even wear certain.
But they fucking
hats. Huh?
I mean,
Obviously
they're
they are.
18 kids. They're popping them out.
They might be fucking clinically because they need to have children. So when the woman is ovulating, they're fucking. But I'm talking about your animal nature of you see.
You think they know when
you
she's
see
ovulating?
you see your husband or you see your wife, and you go,
It's not like they have an app. They have like the ovulation app of, oh, I know, here it's coming now. The egg's dropping.
Actually, that's how
app,
ovulation works. It's like 2 weeks after
He can smell it.
her period.
I
She's
bet the
gonna-
guy can smell it. Yeah.
Well, the woman's gonna know. Like I had my period 2 weeks ago, so I'm ovulating about now. So
How would she know that back in 1965?
They probably have some
They do that
wooden
for, like,
slash
thousands
mirror.
of
during the
years.
civil rights movement. They're like, we have to worry about these blacks.
They probably have like a wooden slash mirror contraption. They hold up. They have her hold up to the vagina, and then it goes like, oh, it's fogged in 2 seconds. That means she's fertile.
I think they've known since like the old days about that stuff, guys.
Which old days?
Oh, I'm talking about the old days. Well, let's talk about the old days. That's a quote from a.
The way of life was so extreme that most Amish expected burgholes to fail. At first, the only families to join were those of the grown mullet children.
I just imagine them all being dressed like Amish people, but having mullets and being really into 80s music.
So was there incest?
No.
Really?
They're marrying other people.
I can't see Moses' hands.
But
He
the
wants an
only-
incest story.
Ooh, yeah,
He's-
hand check.
He's throbbing cock underneath that table.
So was there incest?
Yeah. Did the sister
Tell
have
me
big
slowly.
titties?
Yeah.
Were they ever like on vacation and just saw someone getting out of the shower, man?
It's just weird being in a community where everybody's related and nobody's fucking. It's just weird to me.
Somebody's fucking.
Thank you.
Can I explain something to you? Somebody's fucking. If I was a detective and we were going if the two of us were going into a neighborhood, Moses, and we were just driving in there and we were sitting in our little,
That's your catchphrase?
our Crown Victoria, and we were looking out, like maybe I have like a toothpick in my mouth, and you'd be like, "How are they fucking?" I'd be like, "Somebody's fucking." And I put the
Yeah.
toothpick back in my mouth. We'd get out of the car. And
That'll
start
be in the
interviewing.
promo of the trailer, right?
Right? True Detective, Amish version.
Somebody fucking.
Somebody's fucking.
Slowly, the community began to grow.
See? Somebody's fucking.
Somebody's fucking. Every new Amish settlement needs someone to act as a religious leader. So in 1997, the community drew lots, and shockingly, Sam was ordained as the first preacher at Burgholes,
Oh, that he set up himself.
followed by his son 3 years later.
He's a regular Putin.
Oh, they really fucking monopolized that. All right.
By 2001, the community was ready to choose their bishop. To select a bishop, the Amish traditionally, again, draw lots. A ritual harkening back to biblical times meant to confer divine blessing on the choice.
This is like human chess.
Sort
Their
of.
bishop, their rook, their pawn, their
It's just
queen.
like a bunch of submissives just being like, who's going to dominate me and tell me what to think? Well, we need a hierarchy. First, we need the rabbi. Then we need a priest. We need a bishop, a whole board of people that vote
Did
on our
somebody
lives.
say patriarchy?
Then they walk into a bar.
Oh, that's great.
This guy brought up a classic joke. Mr. Slaton, you're on fire.
They begin with the pool of nominees.
Ooh, is it cold? Was the water temperature good?
A number of hymn books are shuffled and placed before the men,
Nice.
one of them containing a slip of paper with a verse of scripture. Each candidate selects a
Nas
book.
was in this fucking troop.
Each candidate selects a book, which is opened by the supervising bishop. When the slip is found,
Bishop, please.
the man who grabbed it is immediately ordained. This ceremony is typically supervised by at least 3 bishops from nearby communities, sometimes more, to ensure the integrity of the proceedings.
The integrity. The law of average says that someone will pick the correct book, you fucking morons. Call me when the book appears out of thin air and someone grabs it.
At the
In front
Burgholes
of a
ceremony,
It's called the Bible.
there was only one supervising bishop.
Hashtag.
Magically, the newly elected bishop was Sam Mullet.
Oh, wow.
Wait, did you really write? You wrote magically?
Oh, yeah, dude. He's a fabulous journalist.
I put some flair on this
Magically.
shit.
You got a gold sprinkle.
Moses, when you're still on that come up, don't forget that I throw in words like magically. When you're like, dude, I need a Jew for something here. What do we got? Well, Slaton, I know that he has a way
my
with
God.
He
words.
has a way with words.
Magically, he got the job, and this is historically accurate. I mean,
But metaphorically speaking, what's the point?
Right out the gate, Sam's leadership was controversial. Rumors of misconduct spread through the Amish community.
Yeah, he fucking those kids.
Some people
no.
claim that there was a slip of paper in every one of the books, and that the
Golden tickets
supervisor
everywhere.
knowingly opened Sam's first.
Oh, that's hilarious.
This wasn't helped by the fact that in the weeks leading up to the ceremony, members of the Mullet family had campaigned for his selection.
Moses just keeps laughing when you say the word mullet.
Mullet
with things.
family.
Members of the mullet family. And then we have a chart. We have a chart of all the different mullets.
You guys really have that up here.
The
It's
17.
crazy.
This
Yeah.
is the super partier. This is the conservative mullet. This
Yeah,
is the
which
extreme-
members of the party? Go ahead.
This is the Jewish mullet. It makes room for a yarmulke on the back.
Here's the PE teacher.
This one, the PE teacher.
Can I get the
Classic
hockey mullet?
Can I just get the classic original Americana mullet? It comes with a free pair of
Don't be a
Oakleys.
hack, is what they'll say.
Can I get the jean jacket mullet?
The jean jacket mullet. Oh, the Canadian.
The
Yeah.
Canadian tuxedo.
I'd like the acid wash, please.
I'm sure you'd like the ass. To be washed. You stanky butt
Oh,
girl.
man. Members of the Mullet family had campaigned for his selection, something that would usually eliminate a man from consideration for this sign of pride. Sam was the founder, then preacher, and now bishop. The amount of power for just one man was concerning to some, yet the community continued to grow.
Sounds like our presidential problem, huh?
Until one night in October 2005,
Oh, fuck, Halloween, bro. What are we going to serve?
when Eli, one of Sam's older married sons,
Saw
had a
that book.
sudden psychotic break.
Oh,
Whoa. All right, so Eli Mullet.
He went into an enraged fit, so the members of Bergholz tried to help the best way they knew how.
by beating him, flogging him, because they don't understand science and psychology. Beat him. The devil is in him. Cut
yeah.
parts of
They
his dick
exercise
off.
him? What
Throw
happened?
stones at him.
By taking turns sitting on him to keep the devil out.
That's pretty hot.
That's such a weird punishment. You're like, can you please get off me? My hip's
Yeah.
killing me.
You're my sister. I'm gonna eat that pussy. You know what I mean?
You're still on that
Sit-
incest.
You're sitting on my face.
Let me just say also for our guests and our listeners, sorry, Mom.
Sorry,
First of
Mom.
all. Sorry, Dad. Sorry about that, Dad.
Don't care about Dad, but sorry, Mom.
Sorry,
I mean,
Mom.
I love Dad.
No,
but sorry,
Dad,
Mom.
for my dad.
Yeah, no. I will never. I promise your dad right now.
My dad
I will
is
never
such a nice
apologize
dude.
to him.
That's so, like, mean
I
that-
like your dad. I have nothing to. But I will never do anything to your dad that requires an apology.
Mr. Tomaszewski, sorry for turning you on so much, but I might speak of incest.
Oh yeah. Sorry for getting you boned up, bro.
Yeah,
with no
sorry about that.
with no
Slatons and
release
Shefskys.
for it.
Sorry, Pops.
Sorry.
When that didn't work, Eli's brother Johnny the preacher jumped up and down on his back.
Ow! I'm still psycho, and now my back needs
So
surgery.
he gave him, he gave him a Thai lady massage.
A Thai lady. That's right. He's doing better. He got him.
Yeah.
Like, thanks.
So,
Feel great.
This is deep tissue or Swedish. This
Come
is
back
good.
in 2 weeks. Okay.
Sam stood next to
Thanks for the hot towel.
Sam stood by, declaring that, quote, Johnny is the Holy Ghost and Eli's the devil.
Johnny is the Holy
Holy
Ghost.
Ghost.
Eli's the devil.
They tried to purge Satan for hours, but eventually Eli broke free,
Do you guys call masturbation that as well?
grabbed him.
Just trying to purge Satan. Just call me
It's
that.
called bulimia. It's different.
Get the I call it getting the poison out.
But that's we were just mentioning the word hack. That's been said. But
Whoa, easy.
Purging-
Rich is my
You know
friend.
what? Why don't you do this? Why don't you read the story from now on?
No,
And
I don't read
I'll
the
act
story.
surprised. I'll act surprised.
I don't want to read the story. I was talking about how you refer to masturbation.
But eventually, Eli broke free, grabbed a hunting rifle, pointed it at his dad, and pulled the trigger.
But nothing
Hey.
happened. And then the townspeople were like, oh, God wants him to live. Look, the Lord has intervened. Let's worship him more. Right?
It was unloaded.
See?
So he threw it to the ground and ran screaming into the mountains.
Hey, you guys.
like a real devil would.
Eli ran loose for the next week, making occasional appearances until someone in a nearby town called the local hospital, where he was taken and finally treated for mental illness.
Of course.
He made frequent appearances. It's
Well,
like
he popped up. He's like, can I get some chicken?
Bergholz featuring Eli.
Guys, anything can happen here at the Bergholz community. Sometimes we have special drop-ins.
Insider comic joke.
Hide inside. Ball one. After the attempted exorcism by stomping, things began to unravel. In the spring of 2006, the deacon, Laverne Troyer, began...
Whoa.
Whoa,
Yeah.
wait a second.
Whoa, is this Black Amish?
Laverne.
Laverne Troyer.
I'm thinking of Vern.
You're thinking of Vern Troyer. Yeah, I mean, we can go two different... Do we go with the Laverne, or do we go with the Vern Troyer angle?
They don't have
both
black-
of them.
So he's either a dwarf or a black man.
They don't have black Amish people.
He's a
right?
black dwarf.
Black dwarf?
I didn't say that before I
That's kind of
introduced him.
sick, actually. Yeah.
Deacon
Laverne Troyer.
Are there
Amish
black
Deacon
Amish?
Black Dwarf? I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. I've never seen
Black
one.
Shabbos. So
Right?
there's that.
The band, the metal band, Black Shabbos, starring Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Owitz.
The
Berg.
Owitz and Bergenstein.
Yeah, Ozzy Berger.
Well, his wife's name's Sharon, right? They might be Jews.
Spring of 2006, the deacon Laverne Troyer began to consult with outside bishops over concerns with how Sam was running the show.
Did Vern Troyer walk in at 2'3" and go, I'm a little concerned? I'm also a little person.
I'm also a little.
Vern Troyer, like in a full Amish outfit, I would see that. He's great. I would love to see
Would
that.
you see that?
He does.
I'd see that.
He does look
I'd see it
Amish.
through. I'd make sure it happens. If
He
I was
has
a
an
producer.
Amish face.
Huh?
He has an Amish
He does.
face. It's very pointy, which
He
is
does.
kind of how you think of how I think of Amish faces.
You think that they're pointy?
He eventually decided to move
Sure,
his
racist.
family to another community,
That's what I thought.
which Sam expressly forbade. But Laverne's mind was set, so he hired a
Laverne
local.
and Shirley.
What else you got? Just get them all out now.
Yeah, he worked really hard on this.
The
I did,
city
guys.
of Laverne.
I put in-
just
Oh,
so
I like
much
that.
effort.
IE, yeah. Inland Empire. I get that.
Laverne's mind was set, so he hired a local realtor to sell his farm, who listed the property on his website.
Whoa, internet.
That's against Yahweh's rules, bro. Get it off there.
Sam
Wait, how'd they know that?
completely opposed to.
How'd they find that out?
That's an interesting question, right?
Brother, I was looking on the internet and I saw. Wait a second. How did you see it on the internet? You're not supposed to be on there.
AmishOnly.com.
Brother Jedediah was walking through town to sell his milk when he saw a Starbucks, and inside someone was browsing the realtor pages, and I saw your home.
Brother Jebediah gonna die. And they
I'll
try
tell you
to
this right
strangle him.
now: if any Amish people get angry about this podcast episode, guess what? You already fucked up by listening to the first place,
were
bro.
Not supposed to be
supposed to
listening.
be
Not even
listening.
supposed to be listening.
You
It's not even
weren't
about
supposed
you
to
right
be
now, bro.
listening. It's like getting in a car accident when you're drunk.
You
Doesn't matter
fucking
whose fault.
mullets.
You shouldn't have been drinking. and driving.
Sam, completely opposed to any use of the internet, immediately excommunicated the entire family.
Oh, that's got to work out real well. You're all fired.
The move baffled many of the Bergholz families, and by that summer, 9 households, more than a third of the community, had fled.
Wow, that's a third? More than
Sam
a third.
excommunicated them all.
You just sit there in a chair by yourself. Somebody come over here, please, and help me churn the butter. Hello? Anybody there?
Fuck off!
Aren't you coming into work today?
Jeez. Nah, I gotta go fuck with this electricity, nigga.
I don't condone the use of the word electricity.
What was that other one you used, though? Never heard it before.
Yeah, I'm the bishop. I'm Laverne. I'm Laverne Troyer.
Well, you're fired again.
Can you turn me up? Turn up my headphones, please.
Yeah, couldn't hear you over all these. Whatever.
Hashtag roast culture, fellers.
If you haven't already guessed, excommunicating 10 families was kind of a big deal.
But triple excommunicating was just hot.
Ooh, that's true.
Excommunicated members now in the ban were subject to the practice of shunning.
With a lot of oil,
Hell yeah.
hopefully a lot of oil when they shed.
While the more liberal wing of the Amish world allows any congregation to accept a shunned person and lift the ban if they show contrition,
Wow, they're so progressive.
Shame.
Those liberal Amish people.
Shame.
the strict shunning group believes that only the bishop of the community that leveled the ban can be the one to lift it.
Hell yeah. Laverne.
Sam Mullet's scorched earth campaign left families between a rock and a hard place. The banned families insisted they did nothing wrong, but strict practice required that they return to Bergholz, appear before Sam, and confess their sins that they claim to have never committed.
That's cool.
Wait, is no Amish existence a rock and a hard place, by the way?
I mean, that's the only two things they had. They only things they're allowed to have.
Yeah. Oh, this is a hard place. And there's a rock. Let's go, let's go churn butter now. Yeah.
Jedediah, come on in. This is my rock.
Welcome to the hard place.
Yeah, that's just our existence is the hard place.
You guys got a TV?
Yeah, it's like the sunken place and the hard place. It's very close.
It's a new sitcom on NBC. The first season kind of drags, but the last episode, woo, that
So
turns.
good. Oh my
Go
god.
on with your story.
Sam Mullet, okay, they were banned. Their friends' families, all members of strict shunning churches, couldn't accept them until this had been done. The only other option was to go to a more progressive, lenient community, something that made no sense for people initially attracted to the devout Bergholz way.
Okay, what does that mean exactly?
So they couldn't get their ban lifted amongst the strict communities without Sam lifting the ban themselves.
Yeah,
but they weren't going to go admit to a sin they didn't commit. So their only other option is to go to one of the more progressive Amish communities that would listen to you and go,
The
well,
left.
Yeah, those lefty Amish, the ones that occasionally use gas lamps, stuff like that.
Whoa, you guys are weird.
Indoor plumbing.
Oh, I can poop when it's cold inside the house?
Nice.
So you could go to them, and they might let you in if you showed contrition, but they're not going to go to those groups because they already want to be more hardcore anyway. So this super hardcore.
That's the rock and the hard place. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be super strict, but I'm not accepted by the super strict
Exactly.
group, and I'm not going to go over there with those heathen libtards.
The Rock and the Hard Place sounds like a porn starring Dwayne Johnson.
Johnson, right? Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. That gay porn?
With the name Dwayne Johnson, by the way.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson
yeah.
just getting railed.
The Rock and the Hard Place.
Just having a bunch of anal sex. He's just getting fucked.
The
in
Rock and the
butt.
Hard Place, starring a man with the last name Johnson.
Have you ever seen-
Does it keep getting crazier than this?
Have you ever seen a
Dwayne.
picture of Dwayne the Rock Johnson
Dwayne.
naked? He's got an amazing body.
And probably a hog, I'm guessing.
I haven't seen a frontal.
John also doesn't eat hogs, so you can't say that.
I do. I had carnitas this afternoon.
Did you?
Yeah.
All pastor, bruh. We're dude. We
that
might be
chopped up
Jews, but
rock?
we're Southern Californians.
I didn't have al pastor.
All right,
I had that soup.
That's a good point, actually.
What's that soup that you have where it's kind of reddish color and it's got-
Tomato or lobster bisque?
no, it's a Mexican style soup.
It's called Mexican style soup.
Yeah, that's the official
Only
name.
you white boys.
The problem was big enough.
Ooh, that's another porn.
John, you're killing it right now. Seriously.
Can you smell my Badissi?
The problem was big enough that a large group of ministers from other communities began to meet about the Sam Mullet issue.
Oh my God! Like they had to talk about it. They're like, our wives, they're starting to read books. We need to get together, brother, and
This is the
talk
first
about this.
Entertainment Weekly? I mean, what is this gossip column?
Committees were formed and investigations were held,
Oh my God! Get a life, people.
eventually leading to an almost unprecedented event.
It's so self-indulgent
Isn't
and
this
weird.
60s? This is Amish community 60s?
This is
this is
2000.
Oh, this is almost today.
This is 2006
oh, this
now.
Is sexy. Yeah, this is sexy.
on September 13th, 2006.
You know how people's privates are nowadays, Moses. I mean, we're talking about these are shaved vaginas, some landing strips. I mean, this is a time that's very modern right now. Some of these guys have shaved balls.
300 bishops,
Done with an
preachers,
axe. They did
and
axes.
deacons
Wow.
from
All-
over 60 strict shunning communities spanning
it.
5 states met in the upper floor of a farm in Pennsylvania.
upper floor.
Are they allowed to go upstairs? Or they can use that technology? Bam! Fuck y'all!
to discuss the Sam Mullet problem.
Oh, wait, how did they find out about it? Mail? Actual mail?
So they do use mail. They also, while most of them don't have phones in their communities,
Right.
you can go and use one. You can go into like town and use the phone or whatever.
Why? They think God's not there with them? Like, how unsophisticated do you think
They
this
don't
God
want
is?
the phone in the house because that becomes too much of a temptation when it's right there. But
So
like,
they
if
go
you
to
need,
porn theaters to jerk off?
mostly, yeah.
Oh, very interesting.
Why do
people.
you think porn theaters still exist? It's only for the Amish. Yeah.
That'd be I would go there and jack off
And
next to
the ultra orthodox
No, you
Jews to cop to it.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, Orthodox Jews. I get that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
You guys are sort of Amish.
They, Orthodox Jews, yeah, they're
The ultra
trippy, dude.
orthodox, yeah. They and Amish are very similar.
Any uber religious
Ultra
people, you're just like, what-
Orthodox.
anytime you see ultra religious people, you're like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah, yeah.
You know that was
This is
written by
third
another
world.
guy, right?
Yeah,
You don't have to wear
patriarchy.
that. God's not paying attention to what you're wearing, bro.
This screams mansplaining, by the way. But go ahead.
Sam himself was invited, but he refused to attend, saying, quote, "The checkers have already been played."
Oh, dude, what a bunch of fucking dorks. You're having meetings over that? Like, how about you get some people some treatments for
How
their
about play
diseases?
Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, I mean,
Or Dungeons and Dragons.
Yu-Gi-Oh, something way cooler than what they're doing
and a little
right
more
now.
modern.
Yeah,
This is
order
like
something off Grubhub. Live a little.
Maybe do a little
2005.
tap dancing, you know, maybe some
Minesweeper.
swing.
Right?
Minecraft.
Get a VR mask, huh? Look at some VR porn for once, right?
Yeah.
You guys have one I could borrow?
Build a model rocket and launch it in your backyard, you know?
That would be a great HBO miniseries about
Teenage
an Amish
black
kid,
chicks.
An Amish
They're
kid,
tight. They're athletic.
transgender, Amish, black, Jewish, in a wheelchair, wants to be into astrophysics. But
Oh,
guess what?
Sounds
He's
like
Amish.
Degrassi season 1.
We should do the
Neil
Hamilton
deGrasse season 1.
of Amish life,
Yeah.
where we do an Amish story, but it's all black dudes rapping,
Oh, Drake.
right?
That's a really good idea. Go on with your story.
The meeting lasted all day before reaching a decision. They would give Sam Mullet one last chance to lift the ban on these people.
we might have been short in the
Lift
front with our
that band.
chances.
Lift that
If he
band.
refused, there would be a one-time exception to the rule, allowing any congregation to accept exiles from Bergholes. A committee of 5 bishops went to Bergholes to deliver the news.
Eggs out some burg holes.
Sam left them
Eggs
waiting
out
in the
the
yard for
Bergholes.
over an hour. The meeting lasted only a few minutes.
And you know it's a long hour if you're waiting around if you're Amish because you can't get on your phone and go on Instagram.
yeah,
You're
you
just
just
like,
sit
"Fuck,
there and stare.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I gotta repaint that shed. Well, I guess I'll just think about the Bible verses for an hour.
Afterwards, Sam's power had been greatly diminished.
That's what it's like.
He could excommunicate people, but the sentence now held no weight. Sam responded to these attacks with a very un-Amish tactic, a lawsuit.
Whoa.
Oh, whoa! How'd you find the lawyer if you ain't got the interwebs?
Whoa. Very Jewish of you.
Hey, oh, you know,
Excuse
you
me.
are
We're not the only ones who do lawsuits. We're just the best at it.
Right. Don't you teach like an LSAT class?
I taught at the LSAT for a long time.
Are we statistically more litigious? Is it like
No, not litigious. We're the ones you go to.
Oh, litigious is a black girl's name.
We had that in one of our bonus episodes.
John.
Yeah. What's that? I'm Litigious Jackson.
That rapper supercut.
Wow, John.
Litigious?
Litigious Jackson.
Wow, John.
I'm sorry, Litigious Jackson.
Let's be honest, Moses. If you met Litigious Jackson, would you bat an eye?
I mean, first of all, she's my cousin, but
Sure, so fair enough.
You got Jacksons in your family? Oh my goodness.
You're royalty.
I got Washingtons. Yeah, I got Joneses. Yeah, I got them all.
Franklin's.
As it turns
No
out,
Franklins.
the son of former Deacon Troyer was Sam Mullet's son-in-law.
Ooh.
Oh, family connections, Jared Kushner style. What's going on with these people?
He and one of Sam's 9 daughters had given the bishop
A huge bath. They all took a bath together in baby oil. Moses, get your cock out. Let's jack it.
Baby oil? Is that allowed in Amish communities?
only if you make it yourself.
Okay. Gross.
From real babies.
From real baby oil.
Yeah.
Like they like twist them like a towel to get
Fun
it?
fact, people don't know this. Brother Lynch Hung, originally Amish.
No, I get that more than anybody else in this fucking universe gets that.
I do not infrequently make Brother Lynch references on this show.
You've made them
love that.
before, though.
Yeah, it's crazy. That guy eats babies.
That's all the time.
Only in his lyrics. Have you ever heard necro lyrics? They only eat them for the lyrics.
He and one of Sam's 9 daughters had given the bishop
I did it
2
all for the
of his
lyrics.
over 80 grandchildren.
What did he do?
Ew.
Wait, what did he do?
So Sam Mullet,
Rewind that?
Deacon
Yeah.
Troyer's son,
Yeah.
is Sam Mullet's son-in-law,
Sure.
and he and his wife have provided 2 of the over 80 grandchildren that Sam Mullet currently has.
Dope. And gross.
Wait. They've provided 2?
They have 2 kids who
Oh, so-
are Sam Mullet's grandchildren. He has
There's
over 80
80.
grandchildren.
So they actually aren't. They're not really. Their batting average kind of sucks. They only have
So
2.
far, when the son-in-law wanted to leave with his parents, Sam banned him from the community.
Oh, dude, they
Yeah,
just ban
y'all
each
can't
other.
never leave.
Eventually, the couple and their children were reunited. But months later, a van of mullet men
Think of the visual. Just imagine the visual.
Oh, you are a great writer.
I'm thinking of those Hollywood, like those tour buses where the top's cut off, you know? And you just see all the people sitting in the back as they're driving around in it, and they all have mullets.
But months later, a van of mullet men
How come there's no butt month?
showed up at their new home,
Celebrate. Make a new holiday, dog.
grabbed the kids, and told the mother she would go to hell if she didn't come with them as well.
And she literally believed him.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I guess I'm coming here.
I don't want to burn in that thing for eternity. Sounds horrible.
Brainwashing. I love it.
The father, having no recourse, went to court for custody. The state, not being insane, sided with him. A little editorializing, but
No, that was
I
good.
think it's fair in that
No,
context.
I like it. Yeah.
By now, the sheriff had received 3 death threats from the Bergholz clan.
Wow.
So he went to an Amish farm.
The sheriff himself had
Yeah.
received death threats, or you've been heard about death threats? from other
No.
people?
They've been calling him being like
The Amish are threatening to kill the sheriff?
Yes.
They're that hard to the Korath?
They're
this
not above it.
weird
What?
little group.
They're not above it.
When I think of Amish people, I think that they're like peaceful, but they're just a little weird. But
Yeah,
I don't
but
think of them causing any trouble.
They're still humans, though, John.
That's a good point. I see humanation right here. I see a lot of humanation.
Humanation?
Yeah, you know, when you humanation things.
No.
So he went to their farm to collect the 2 children with a full SWAT team.
Wow. This is what year is this?
This is
2005?
2006.
So it's like an Amish guy with a group of SWAT guys, like, clear! Slicing the pies! Over there! 2 over there, sir! They have like laser sights, and it's just an Amish guy leaning in, going like this with his
Yeah.
eyes.
Compost over there. I get it.
Bergholz was in ruins.
Or they knocked the door in with him. They held him as that door ram.
The once flourishing community had been reduced to just 17 families, totaling 101 people.
Oh my
it's
God.
so
That's
sad.
crazy.
I'm so
Except
bummed.
for one family, they were all related to Sam and Martha.
Gross.
It was no longer a congregation, it was a clan.
And a big,
See?
giant incest porn.
I mean, that's what Moses is here for
That's
mostly.
why I love a clan. You know I love a clan.
Moses, he's been on the show twice, and he told me he only wants to come on the show when something sexy's happening.
Yes.
Last time it was dudes having naked knife fights.
Yeah, which is crazy and also sexual.
Super hot. And this time we got like this big cream pie action that's just
One big incest clan. I'm so into that. I love mommy daddy porn.
It's not real, mommy, daddy. They just title it that because I don't even know why.
If someone disagreed with Sam in any way, he would point at them and say, "Then Satan lives in you."
I want to do that when people disagree with me.
In response to the
Like
committee's,
they don't take your coupon somewhere. You're like, then Satan, you'll have to live with it yourself, fella.
I'm sorry, sir.
This
This
expired 2 years ago.
yeah, you can't use that here.
Yeah, let me tell you something. If I can't use that coupon for 3 for 1 at your Subway restaurant, then Satan lives with you.
Dude, I work at Subway. I already know that.
You already know Satan
Oh,
lives with
that's
you?
actually great.
Please.
Touche, my friend.
In response to the committee's ruling, he sent a hand-drawn illustration to Bishop Atlee Miller, who had convened the meeting of 300. Done by one of his
hates that
teenage
movie.
daughters, it depicted Miller and the other elders as servants of the false idol Baal. Across from them stood the prophet Elijah, who'd been renamed Sam Mullet.
Wait a minute. Wait. The Muslim Prophet Muhammad?
It's all based
No,
off
the prophet
Abraham.
Elijah. Nowhere did I say Muhammad at any point.
Okay, I
here.
just think when you say Elijah, I think Muhammad. I don't know why Elijah Muhammad is my thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know Islam is based off of Abrahamic.
Elijah
stuff, so,
Muhammad.
yeah, it's all the same book.
So, all right. So Elijah is now the prophet.
Elijah the prophet, but now he labeled Elijah as Sam Mullet.
Like he changed it. He went in there with that whiteout pencil.
Oh, so the prophet Elijah is now Sam Mullet. Mm-hmm. Wow. Good for him.
there was a message scrawled. I mean, that's a come up, right? That's a promotion.
Yeah, you think that
He went from a bishop to being Elijah the prophet,
You are Elijah the prophet. Your name's
the
Sam
bringer
Mullet,
of the
though.
Messiah.
Yeah.
You just go through the Bible with like a red pen, and cross it out. No,
You can kind of do that, though. I feel like you can kind of do that.
they do it. That's what they all
And
do.
then God saith unto Sam Mullet.
Yeah. Then the Lord said for Shefsky to receive as much head as possible.
There was a message scrawled across the drawing. Quote, "You thought you were on the top of the ladder.
But you're not.
You fell all the way down to the bottom using the sheriff to try to get me!" 7 exclamation points.
Not only are their technology out of date, their riffs are horrible.
The dirtiest trick of all.
They're all, you are not that good. There, hashtag roast culture.
Hey.
You did a bad job with what you were planning. Ooh, made you look.
The dirtiest trick of all. It didn't work. Again, I'm still free.
Booyakasha.
Ha 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 ha.
He said that.
I mean, you are kidding. He wrote that.
I have
is it text?
picture. I have a picture of this drawing.
It's like the first text in history.
I was gonna say I text that when something's really funny.
Remember, no, this is 2006. He's like, well, I can't text, so I'm going to send you my own emoji
that's
of me
crazy.
as Elijah
Yeah.
and you burning up, and then lots of ha's.
Me as Elijah. How old is this man at this point?
I think he's in his 70s by this point.
Okay, but now
60s,
he's
maybe.
Elijah on his way out. Nice.
Well, see, he was born in 45, so do the math from there.
Yeah, 45 plus something.
He's 38,000 years old.
He's almost 80 now. Today,
It's important to note here that while the Amish are Christians, Sam Mullet tended to eschew
Bless you.
the New Testament
tight.
in favor of the Old. According to one of his
So he's
sons,
Jewy.
Sam, quote, used the Old Testament passages as a way for him to support his ideas. He talked about going back to the Old Bible because there
God, that's always a danger sign.
you can hit people.
I was just gonna say, we'll just stone her. You know what I mean? You go back to the old stuff, and it's just like throw her off the mountaintop.
It screams of patriarchy. I get it.
Oh God, it just screams of nastiness. I don't know about patriarchy.
It's important to
or
think about that,
matriarchy
though,
or
'cause the Amish-
shaky archery, great pizza. Go on.
The Amish were all about nonviolence, and that was a huge thing for the Amish.
Right.
And so him being like, you know what?
It's not violent enough. You know the thing about this Amish religion? It's just not violent.
The lack of
Honestly,
violence is really the problem.
My wife comes harder when I choke her, so let's go with violence.
That's different though, Moses. When did you get married?
Before long, other aspects of the Amish Christianity
mullet
began
man.
to fall away. One day, Sam got up to preach in church, but after multiple attempts, he had nothing to say.
Yep, it's the same Bible. Guess there's not much changed this weekend.
Poor guy.
But what else do we have a lesson for this week?
Well, yeah, you can come on up here on stage and I'll fucking knock your eye out.
Wow, so just don't go on stage. That's the lesson. You know what? He means pride cometh before the fall. That's what that means.
Exactly.
Great, dude. Great sermon, Sam.
Yeah, come up here and get a Hertz donut.
So when he had nothing to say, he blamed the failure on the congregation not praying hard enough on his behalf.
Oh, what
I believe
a
that.
fucking
Yeah.
douchey thing to do.
No,
to
work harder. Because you don't. By the way, because you don't like me as a personal problem, but pray harder.
to blaming a whole congregation for not praying hard enough, dude.
He's bombing, and he's like, guys, if you guys just prayed harder, I'd be killing right now.
Tell me
Oh,
that
you
they
guys are
all
missing a
quit.
great show up here. I'm praying my ass off up here.
Tell me they all quit after he said that.
No, he did away with church services altogether.
Nice.
And before long, the Bergholz prayer books began to show up in
Get my
local flea
Sundays
markets.
back.
So this guy is a total fucking Amish diva. He has tantrums like a director on set. He goes, "You're all fired." He does that. He goes, "Oh, you know what? Then we won't have church anymore."
Who has a cell phone?
Ain't no church.
Who didn't silence
I'm the
their cell
church.
phone? Who even has one? You're not supposed to have a cell phone in this community. Actually, that's really even a bigger problem than the fact that it went off.
Some weird Truman Show shit, yeah. But I love it.
Most Amish people believe that the devil is actively trying to do evil in the world.
Really?
So it may not be a surprise that Sam began to frequently spot him everywhere.
Oh God.
Oh.
This guy is
Where'd he see him?
annoying.
Once, Sam noticed a stray white cat and declared that it was his estranged son-in-law posing as a cat with the devil's help in order to spy on them.
Ooh.
Dude, who's crazier though? This guy or people that are like, I think he might be right. I think he's onto something.
Both.
A
But
white
I like
pigeon
that white
on the
cat.
roof of the barn was also the devil.
I do love that it's white. Oh, it's not
Does it
black
make you feel good?
pigeons
You're
or
like,
black
finally,
cats.
put the heat on those white
Put it on those white
cats.
pigeons and white cats.
Right?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
white pigeon's a dove. I don't know
You
what
love
that's
it.
about.
You love sinking your teeth into some racism. You're like, it's
That's
not
why
on
I'm
me.
here, John.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
Like on this
Also,
planet?
his son's dog was the devil.
Oh no! What did he do to the poor fucking dog?
Also, the sheriff was the devil.
well, I could see how an Amish group could start saying "fuck the police."
Once he had his son, Preacher Johnny, chase the devil out of the barn with
coming
a
straight
baseball
out of
bat.
Pennsylvania.
Preacher Johnny, was that his name?
Well, yeah, Preacher Johnny.
Preacher Johnny.
That sounds like that.
That
also,
sounds like that's a good hip hop name, Preacher
Yeah,
Johnny.
Preacher Johnny's pretty sweet, actually.
or a great. We were talking about porn earlier. Like he comes out and all he has is that like the priesty thing on his neck, and he's fully naked. Preacher Johnny's got a sermon he's going to
Preacher
deliver.
Johnny.
A creamy sermon.
Sam also developed the ability to spot his flock's sins with the naked eye, especially if they were sexual.
Oh.
So he was jacking off outside of people's windows. That's not right what you're doing in there, but keep doing till I come.
He ordered everyone to write a list of all their sins, no matter how small.
Oh, then he jacked off over them.
Some people brought him letters over 100 pages long.
What do they call it? A tribute?
He asked one couple to, quote, confess the things they do in their bedroom that are not pure.
Oh, this
Not
sounds
cool,
hot.
John. Come on, Johnny.
What? No, not me.
No, this
right?
is Sam. This is Sam.
Oh, this is Sam
This
again?
This is Captain Sam.
Oh, Sam's an old pervert.
I thought
He's
Moses
like
was
a
telling me,
creepy
come on,
old
Johnny.
man.
I was like, but I mean, it's kind of hot, right?
Yeah.
He's like, what does she do? And where does he put his finger? And do you like it?
As people grew uncomfortable and tried to leave, Sam did everything to prevent it. One couple moved half their belongings away, but when they returned for the rest, their house was boarded up, the windows screwed shut, the basement flooded, and felled trees blocked their driveway.
By Sam? Like Sam did this shit? Or had his...
Sam and his crew.
So he still has a small group of people that are following. Fucking idiots.
No, I love it.
It's frustrating.
Good for him.
It's frustrating. People are suffering at the hands of these morons.
In 2008, Crazy Eli checked himself back into the mental hospital.
That's his new
Eli.
nickname.
That's
Twice.
crazy.
That's a good rap name, huh?
Crazy Eli.
Crazy Eli.
According to his wife, he was, quote,
Crazy.
very upset because he found out that Mr. Mullet asked me to sit on his lap.
Ooh, I knew it.
Soon after, they left Bergholz never to return again.
So he's trying to bone his friend's wife?
His son's wife.
His son's
or
wife.
his son's son.
Wow, a regular
No, his
rock
son's wife.
star.
Oh, it was a woman? Okay.
Yeah. Between this, the failed custody suit, and the ruling of the Amish Council of Elders, it appeared to them that this was the end times. According to Sam,
Like
quote,
the Armageddon end times?
yeah,
Oh, that's so funny.
quote, we realized that some of us were living in sin or God wouldn't have allowed this to happen. The only solution was to repent.
Whoa.
So over the winter of 2009-2010, the Bergholz people practiced rites of remorse, spending as much as 2 weeks at a time in chicken houses, dog kennels, and horse pens.
Doing what?
Damn.
Just being in there.
Like living in them?
Just
Like that was
being
your-
in there.
yeah,
They weren't
your-
even cleaning or like doing any work. They're just being there.
Where do they think God is? That God is like good. Yes, that's good punishment. Sufficient. Sufficient. Yes, I will lift all the problems because you stayed in that little doghouse.
By the way, that impression of the guy is my favorite.
Thank you very much. You will be spared during the great flood of 2018. You will be spared.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coincidentally, while many
But
of
I'm
the
still
men,
going to melt the polar caps because I don't like the white bears. That's for Moses.
coincidentally,
Punish those white bears. Let the black bears be kings for once, right?
while many of the men stayed with the animals,
White devil bears, I called them. I created them, though. I am God.
their wives stayed at the home of Sam Mullet.
What, he had a group of them?
While the men were staying with the
Sex
animals.
Amish Hugh Hefner.
Dude,
Yeah.
sexy ass pale Amish chicks, probably with some hairy
70-year-old man,
pussies
yeah.
and just fucking laying around. They probably have some extra butter they could rub all over everybody. Oh, I don't even know what an Amish girl's name was. I was gonna try to riff. What the fuck?
Beatrice.
Beatrice?
Maybe.
It's kind of a hard
I'll go
one
with that.
It's kind of a hard one to be really sexy with. Beatrice, and you, Beatrice over there, and the other Beatrice.
Ethel.
Yes, let me eat you out while I fuck this one.
Oh,
And they're like, but you're the grandpa of the Amish group. He's like, I don't care. I'm a naughty, naughty sinner.
Lets me eat you out. I mean, like,
Right?
what is
That's
that?
that's how you do it. If you're a cult leader, you're like, hey, I want to fuck and I want some food right now.
Well, the real trick is when you call it marital counseling.
Oh God,
That's the
I
real
like
trick,
that a lot.
which he pulled.
how do people not realize that? Yeah, whoever's trying to lead your group is going to try to fuck your kids and fuck your girls.
It's the best trick the devil ever pulled.
Tensions rose in the community so much that a fight broke out between two men.
Ooh.
He's fucking my wife. He's fucking my wife.
2 men? Which men?
Just two. It didn't say which two men.
Moses wants more. He wants to
To
know.
prevent more violence,
Were they naked? Did they wrestle over it?
Sam came up with a solution.
Oh.
He ordered Eli Hostetler, the new deacon, to fashion a paddle riddled with 1-inch holes fastened to an axe handle. And so began the winter of spanking.
That sounds hot too.
So Eli, or not Eli, but yeah.
Sam.
Sam Mullet invented spanking.
Who's he spanking? The dudes that are fighting or the girls?
People took turns paddling each other or offering themselves for punishment.
Okay, do you think that this guy?
Whoa,
Do
I
you
like
think- do
the
you think this-
S&M Amish.
I know, but do you think
S&M
that he got
Amish.
driven to that by like living in like a non-humanistic, non-organic kind of life? All the weird rules they have.
I think 'cause they're so
it
repressed,
turned
that's
him-
kinda what it is.
Yeah, like if you deprive, you turn into
Yeah.
deprave. Like, do you think that happened, or was he just like a sadistic dude from the very start that was like, I'm gonna figure out how to fucking wrangle all these people and fuck whoever I want and punish people?
I think it was
sadistically?
learned over time. I think because they were so repressed.
Yeah.
And then he was the only one having sex. He's just like, you know what? I think this is gonna help us release a little bit. Plus, I want to see some motherfuckers get fucked up.
Yeah, that's
A
fucking
wife
sick.
might spank her husband for looking at another woman.
Ooh, he's like getting hard. He's like, also, dear, stick your finger into my anus while you spank me. Maybe, do that thing we heard about from American Pie. I've never seen it. I wouldn't sin that hard unless I got a spanking for admitting so.
General anger or grudges would be settled with a good whack on the bottom.
Sounds pretty nice.
Some of the paddlings were severe. On one occasion, Martha Mullet herself was spanked so hard by her daughters that she had trouble walking.
By her daughters?
Yeah, get it.
I know
Get it, girls.
That's in your wheelhouse.
Hell
there.
yeah. Oh, she can't even walk straight, player.
Not from getting railed, from getting spanked.
Yeah, my daughters want to put it down.
By the way, all these spankings are public. None of that they aren't behind. They're like in the group.
I'm all for public spankings, but
Yeah. And masturbation.
with a, with a hand. You know what I mean? Not like public spanking with a paddle, but like if they did away with corporal punishment, like if there was no more
Dude,
execution.
with a paddle, I mean, that's crazy.
Like, if you-
your daughters are spanking you because like they're like, Mom, we caught you looking at past or whatnot. Yeah.
Or if you were in Tehran or something like that, like my son, he listens to rock and roll, and they're like, the religious police will take him, and they just give him a spanking in public with their bare hands. You'd be like, all right, that's kind of funny.
It is very
The
funny.
whole town gathers around. Oh, I'm so sorry.
But the worst punishment in burg holes, the one that carried the most disgrace, was the cutting of your beard or hair.
Oh.
Wait, if they cut their beard or their hair, they get in trouble?
No, they would cut that. That's a punishment. That's not supposed to exist.
Yeah.
Like long story boring. I'm gonna get into some of this in a moment here, but their beard and hair, there's specific rules across all Amish people, and it's very serious to keep your beard and your hair.
So then, if they cut your beard and your hair and you break the rules and they
You're losing your strength.
no,
really.
you don't cut your beard and hair.
they do it
Like, well,
as a punishment.
no one. No one's ever done this before. This has never been a thing. This is a new thing.
Oh, they got
he's
invented.
inventing.
Is
because
that if you're bad, he's going to cut your beard and hair?
So let me give you a little context here.
Give me some context.
There are many biblical stories surrounding the shaving of one's face and head, all of them bad. In one, King David sends ambassadors to a neighboring king who shaves off half their beards. King David allows the men to seclude themselves while the hair grows back, after which he launched a battle of 32,000 men on their return.
Just for that? Just for a beard trimming?
During the Winter of Shame, most of the women and about a dozen men had their beards and hair cut as a sign of remorse and purification.
But dozen?
A dozen?
Smells like a bedozen in here.
Is that real? Is that a real amount?
Cleansed of sin, the Bergholz community now saw their struggles with the other Amish as a battle between good and evil. In their eyes, the other groups were hypocrites, spreading lies and gossip about their peer community. So again, throughout Amish history, beard and hair kept long. You let your beard grow. You let your hair grow at least. There's rule it has to go at least to your shoulders. It's a serious thing.
Love it.
No one ever. So this is a new development.
Everyone looked like Rob Zombie. And okay.
That's scary.
On the night of September 6th, 2011,
Hell yeah. Recent.
Marty and Barb Miller
A little too recent.
were in bed winding down from a day of work. Barb was Sam Mullet's sister.
Ew.
The couple briefly lived in Bergholz to be near 6 of their children who'd moved to the community. But 4 months later, they had quickly packed their belongings in trash bags and fled in the night. Their children had found out last minute, warning their parents they would go to hell if they left and calling their mother a whore.
Whoa.
Their own mother.
That was back in 2007. They hadn't seen their children since.
Wait, what?
Wait, I'm so confused.
Yeah, this doesn't
I need
love
you
him.
to re-explain.
Marty and so Barb Miller is one of Sam Mullet's sisters.
Okay.
Correct.
Their
She's an
children,
old lady. She's 60-something years old.
Their
'cause-
six of their children have moved to Sam Mullet's community.
Yeah.
Bag holds.
And so in 2007, they went and joined to be near their kids.
Yeah.
But in 4 months, they were like, this is fucking bananas. We're out of here.
You guys are in a cult.
And,
Hello.
and as they left, their kids, they tried to secretly sneak away, and their kids found out and were like, you're going to hell. Mom, you're a whore. And that was in 2007.
To their own mother.
Fucking whore. What are
Now
you doing
it's 2011, and they have not seen their kids since.
here? Okay. Wow.
At 10:30 in the evening, Barb heard a knock at the door.
Oh, this is scary.
Surprised, she grabbed a flashlight and peeked out the window.
Oh, a flashlight?
What?
They want to use flashlights?
You mean a
not lanterns?
flashlight? Flashlights don't need batteries.
They grabbed it. She grabbed her flashlight and pointed at the window. This might distract you.
They were all looking inside. That's weird. Is that one of those custom Jenna Jamesons or just a regular generic?
So I guess that they had some things where it's like, in case of emergency, you might use this thing, but generally we don't.
Okay. So not even like go get a lantern. I get it. All right.
Surprised, she grabbed the flashlight out the window where she saw an Amish man with a hat over his face.
Oh, shoot.
So she opened the door.
That's the dumbest thing you could do.
Yeah. And then she shot the shit out of her?
It was her son, Lester. He entered silently,
Oh, fuck.
followed by her other 4 sons, their wives, her daughter, and her daughter's husband.
This is fucking terrifying.
Sounds
And this is by
terrifying.
candlelight, too. So this is even scarier. Yeah, this is like the Purge, Amish style.
The men, wearing miners' headlamps, went and grabbed their father from his bed,
They're wearing headlamps? I thought they were strict.
brought him to the front room,
Oh, that makes sense, though.
and held him down in a chair.
No.
The boys began to scream in his face, "God is not with you!"
Oh, my God. They're
Then they pulled out shears
cut his hair off?
and cut his beard and hair.
Oh.
Did his hair bled?
When they were finished, his father was shaved and bleeding from his head.
Oh,
Why was he bleeding?
Because they did it real rough.
Yeah, they didn't.
They didn't do it smooth.
Yeah,
did
they
it
didn't. They didn't wash.
This is religious extremism. I'm getting worked
Barbarism.
up. I'm getting worked up. Barbarism. Barbarism. Take my kids' minds.
Oh my God.
Barbarism.
That's Barb Miller, yeah.
You got me tripping my dad's hair off, tripping my dad's beard off. Barbarism. Barbarism.
Miller.
Went to the Amish community, saw barbarism. Go on with your story. Sorry, guys. Thanks for the detour.
Then they turned on Barb, smashing her prayer cap before taking the shears to her waist-long locks.
Damn.
When the deed was
This is
done,
an old lady. They're
Their
going.
mother, by the way.
their mom.
How godly are you if you're going to an old?
and this is
mother or
12
not,
people,
This is an older
12 adults,
lady.
and they brought 2 of their kids with them to watch.
Oh.
And they photographed the whole thing.
Oh, no
Jesus
respect.
Louises.
Your mother?
When the deed was done,
Your
the
whore
barbers
mother?
gathered up all the hair and left.
I thought you were going to set it on fire so everyone could smell
Oh,
it.
did they done it to Locks of Love?
Yes, this whole thing is actually out of
This is
love.
actually
bro.
a
Oh,
story
that's really sweet,
about
actually,
helping
now.
out and doing
Yeah.
something right, Moses. You uncovered it.
On September 24th, David and Sarah Wengard went to Bergholz to see her brother Levi Miller, no relation, who after years of estrangement had invited them for a visit. They arrived at 10 a.m. and had a nice cup of coffee, which they didn't know was laced with a laxative.
Oh, my God.
Oh my gosh! So they saw Dumb and Dumber? Like they don't even have TVs.
They love
How'd
Pranks.
know?
Yeah, these are like the Jerky Boys.
You know what I like about you, Levi? You're a regular guy.
After lunch, the women sat to chat in the house while the men went for a stroll outside around the property.
Shit their pants.
As they neared the barn,
Their outhouse.
Levi and the other men suddenly grabbed David, accused him of everything from spreading rumors to sexual deviance,
Then shit on him.
took a photograph, then shaved off his beard and hair.
Oh, that's so funny.
They took a photograph,
And then they
How-
took an after photo.
How are they so? I thought they were so religious that they're fundamentalist and insane. Yet they're breaking rules.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
and then
people,
they're
when they
shaving
go
people's
that
heads, so
far
it's
off
like-
the deep end, they start breaking their own rules in service of their rules. It's so weird.
Oh, they're so nutty.
Practical jokesters.
Nutty.
On October 4th, around 9:30 at night, the Bergholz barbers showed up at the home of 76-year-old Raymond Hirschberger,
I love your writing.
a member of the committee that overturned Sam Mullet's shunnings.
And the only Jew in the community, Mr. Hirschberger.
They sheared the old man, then turned on
Oh, my
his son.
God. Who are these?
It was a drive-by barber. Look out, man. They got my beard.
These ex-barber college students.
The lady's screaming, they have my beard. They have my beard.
But their electric clippers stopped working,
Who, Janice?
so they just hacked at his beard with the dead tool.
Oh, that sounds super painful.
Wait, who's the dead tool? Tim?
Yeah.
Showed him.
When Raymond struggled to free himself, preacher Johnny Mullet chastised him. A Christian wouldn't fight back like that.
Preacher Johnny Mullet, by the way. Greatest rock star in history.
Christians wouldn't do what you're doing, the old man replied. To which Johnny said, we're not Christians.
Whoa, that's a revelation. Johnny be bad.
Fear roared across the Amish country.
He could trim off a beer like he was playing the car. Go, go.
Go, Johnny, go, go.
Go, Johnny, go, go, go. Trimming the beard.
People were locking their doors for the first time ever.
I don't want to lose my beard.
Okay.
The sheriff's office got calls asking, what is mace and where can you buy it?
Whoa.
Some Amish were even keeping their shotguns, normally used only for hunting, loaded inside the house.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You can take my beard when you pry it from my cold, dead chin.
Yeah, stand your ground.
My
Stand
chin
your
is so
cobbled ground.
cold. I did not know it could feel like this. Wow, wind is a real issue.
Oh, yeah. When you shave your body parts that are normally covered in hair.
Ooh, yeah, right?
Wind is crazy.
Hey, what do they do in like cold winters? Like they just like wear blankets and quilts?
No, they have the same thing
They
poor
have
people
heaters.
do. They
I mean,
have-
haven't you ever seen like all the Amish? Is that the Amish
right,
heaters
like
that they sell?
like a pot belly stove
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
something. All right.
That's just new, dude. For thousands of years, we survived without it.
Many
We'll
of
be
the
fine.
men were so embarrassed about their shaved appearance that they refused to go out in public.
They just borrowed from other
It's like they
fundamentalists.
had cold sores.
The men just wear burqas. They're like, we'll just borrow from another fundamentalist branch. Here, let me put that whole thing over my body with some eye holes. I'm a black ghost.
Bishop Hirschberger didn't preach for 6 months.
Hirschberger.
Hirschberger.
On Tuesday, October 4th,
Juicy Hirschberger.
Detective
Extra cheese.
Joe Mullet,
Caramelized onion, pretzel bun. Hirschberger. Pretzel bun, right? That's what I got you.
You're making both of us hungry.
That's what I got. Well, I'm going to feed you boys when we're all done with this.
Ooh, you're gonna feed us.
Well, you're
huh?
going to have to pay for it, but I'll walk with you to the place.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Johnny Thon.
Tuesday, October 4th,
Well, that's a sauce they have there, the Johnny Thon.
Detective Joe Mullet, no relation,
Really?
took a call from,
His last name's Mullet.
but no relation.
You sure?
That doesn't make any sense.
I
I
think
mean,
there's a twist.
I don't believe
I've
it.
heard of 3 people with the name of Mullet in my lifetime. They're all in this story. This guy's related.
Detective Joe took a call from dispatch, sending it to an address that he didn't recognize.
It just says by the horse barn.
Joe grew up Amish, but never joined the church as an adult. Now, here's a quick important
That's
point.
like being Jewish.
The Amish, so the Amish, part of their thing is they do not baptize children. You can only be baptized as an adult because they want you to make the choice to be baptized or
That's
not.
fair. I actually
Good.
agree with
I
that. That's
respect
So-
that. I
no
love that.
indoctrination of
Yeah.
children. Good.
They also have a
First
thing
rule.
called Rumspringa, which is where
Love Rumspringa.
the young people
it like
go
the
and
rum
leave the
shaker?
Amish community for a little while to see
Right.
what the world is like.
That's real?
And make,
Yeah, the
it's a whole
Rumspringas,
thing.
yeah.
Who would go back after
Rumspringa.
busting a few nuts and having some
Rumspringbreaka.
sushi?
Yeah.
You know what's up?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
Who goes back after
Rumspringa.
that?
So, but they don't hold the stuff against you. If you as an adult go like, I'm not going to join the church. The only thing they really hold against you is if you make your vows to be part of the church and then break them. That's like the
Right.
big cardinal
Yeah,
sin.
yeah.
Oh, if you apostate, they're like,
Yeah.
off with his head, bro.
So when he,
But what happens in Rumspringa stays in Rumspringa.
yeah,
You feel
dude.
me?
I'm thinking of springy rumps. Boing.
When he arrived at the Hirschberger farm, the men were pleased to find an officer speaking in their native Pennsylvania Dutch.
Fuck yeah.
Amish too.
He took their statements, but Raymond refused to sign any paperwork. Joe worked the case through the night, tracking down another victim from that very evening and bringing in a hired secular truck driver who had been seen at both incidents.
Oh shit, Reginald Denny.
But at 8 a.m., the detectives received a call from the Hirschbergers. They didn't want to press charges. So Detective Joe and the local sheriff went back to meet with the victim and a collection of senior bishops. At first, they were adamant in their refusal to retaliate. They only had a haircut. Didn't Jesus endure worse?
Yes. Tell him.
But Joe made his argument in Dutch. If they didn't act now, would it ever stop? Maybe would it get even worse?
Different language.
The bishops finally agreed. That afternoon, the prosecutor issued warrants for the preachers Johnny Mullet, Levi Miller, along with 3 others.
This is all over, like,
I'm saying like, yeah. What's the charge?
haircutting.
We're gonna get there, dude. The charges, yeah, we're on that train, bro.
That is like molestation, dude. You went
I
on
love a
someone's body
train.
and you
I
started.
love a good train job.
The drop's coming. They were charged with kidnapping and burglary, first-degree felonies, the highest in Ohio criminal law.
Wow. Just a bunch of Amish mugshots.
Really?
Well, if you hold someone and restrain them, and also take them from one room to another, that's kidnapping.
Oh wow.
And then
Just one
burglary
room
is
to the other. I'll have to keep that in mind.
burglary is
Jeez.
breaking and entering and taking
Yeah.
stuff.
I'll think about that next time I'm inviting someone to see my stamp collection. You will come with me if you're my friend. That's kidnapping.
They brought the men in for interrogation, which was super easy because the guys didn't just admit to the acts, they were proud. The preachers bragged.
I did it, and I'd do it again.
And it was awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Dude, you should have seen what their faces looked like when we held them down and shaved them. Oh, man.
Fuck that bitch.
I have
That's your
pictures if you want to see this
mother.
shit,
That's
man.
your
It was
mother.
cool.
Yeah, but they look like regular non-Christian dudes. It was hilarious. High five.
Your mother and your father.
The
How dare you.
preachers bragged that they were stronger than the victims and so were able to hold them down.
Like God wanted them to be stronger than them.
just no, they were like, dude, we were so strong they couldn't even get up when we held them down.
How
And
many?
the
Yeah, they're
cops
also
are sitting there
40
going like,
years older than us.
this is definitely kidnapping.
Yeah.
They are holding them. They are literally saying all the
I got
crimes.
these crazy Amish guys in here that are
Oh,
drinking,
one guy
drinking
kept
Red
saying
Bulls.
stop. We just kept doing it. I'm like, wait, what?
The men were held in jail for about a week, during which they made several phone calls to burg holes.
They keep making phone calls. That's so wild.
Well,
Yeah, as soon
every
as they get out, it's like when you're on a diet and you're like, oh, I can have carbs again? I'll just have a couple pieces of Tres Leches cake and maybe a big sandwich, maybe a croissant and a milkshake and, just a couple carbs.
It's very personal.
That's how they
John.
are with phones.
While every outgoing
memories
call
are.
begins with a reminder that it's being recorded. The men spoke freely in Pennsylvania Dutch, as they were used to years of feeling like they had a secret language. But Detective Joe listened and translated every call. As the men laughed, discussed their crimes, and planned more.
Oh,
Philadelphia
Jesus.
Dutch, by the way. What is that? Hey, this fucking guy, bro. I'm gonna tell you, you can't make a fucking cheesesteak. It's crazy.
That's Pennsylvania.
Did you guys ever
Italian.
see Jesus walk on water?
I see. Yeah, that's Pennsylvania Dutch.
But Sam even mentioned the camera filled with photos of their deeds, but said they shouldn't worry as he would lie and tell the police it was missing.
As he's on the phone?
On the phone that's being translated.
Oh, God.
But even with all this evidence,
Fucking idiots!
the case presented a logistical nightmare. First, it spanned multiple counties, presenting jurisdictional issues. Second, if the local courts forced the Amish to come testify, it could cause a serious rift between law enforcement and the Amish community.
Why? Because of forcing them to break their rules?
Yeah, they don't want to get involved in law stuff in general. They will cooperate with police, but they don't want to testify. They don't want to go in.
But the police are getting weak about that because they're worried about fucking their ties up with this group that needs someone to fucking. You guys got to come in and do this fucking. You got to testify.
Well,
I don't give
hold
a
on.
fuck if you're mad. This is our
Third-
rules, buddy. You're in our town.
Third and most important,
That's from
the
one.
county courts could go after the 5 attackers, but the law as it stood didn't allow them to build a convincing case against the mastermind Sam Mullet. So on October 24th, the case of the Amish barber attacks
Don't say it was dropped.
was taken over by the FBI.
You're kidding. This is awesome.
They were slowly pursuing leads until November 9th, when the Bergholz barbers, free on bail,
FBI fucking big investigation.
lured another Amish man to their farm for a beard attack.
This is the weirdest crime, but also I'm really annoyed with these beard attackers. Right? It's like they're not hurting, but they're psychologically you're never gonna sleep
Oh,
tight
yeah,
again.
yeah, exactly.
And every time you grow your beard out again, you're like, how long will I even have this fucking puppy?
You lose your confidence, John.
Right?
That's real. That's
it's like
really,
having a
that's
bike
your,
stolen.
That's your strength.
Yeah. You just
On
you
November 23rd,
never feel safe again.
over 70 members of law enforcement descended on the Bergholz settlement. FBI officers announced themselves before entering the unlocked home of Sam Mullet.
This is all over haircuts?
They received no answer.
Did anyone ever develop a haircut? I bet there'd be a new industry of a safe that you'd have for your beard that you wear when you go to sleep at night. And you have the key for it. No one can get to it. You have a five pressing button passcode to get onto it.
No, but you have to have a key. You can't have a passcode because that
that's
would
right. That'd
violate.
be digital. So you need a key.
Analog
And
only,
you
bruh.
basically wear a chastity hair safe.
Bruh.
FBI officers announced themselves before entering the unlocked home of Sam Mullet. They received no answer. They knocked on every door until they reached his bedroom and announced, "Where are the FBI?" Sam replied, "I'm getting dressed." A few minutes later, he emerged, followed by the wife of one of his nephews.
Whoa, he's just boning his nephew's wife?
The FBI searched his home,
Was she hot?
finding drafts of contracts to lease his land to oil and gas speculators.
No way.
In the barn, they found scissors, clippers, marijuana seeds, and some cocaine.
You're kidding.
This is a
Nope.
This is a dude.
Daddy Mullet had coke and marijuana?
Yeah.
Dude, they turn up on the Bergholz farm.
Okay.
They fucking getting that coke, getting that weed.
Hey, when he
Selling the oil for
They have
oil money?
They have pictures.
when he said he was gonna be down in a minute because he was getting dressed, was he still fucking trying to bust his nut real quick?
Sir,
they got
it's the
brought up-
FBI. We're here to take you in.
That's crazy.
Just a moment. Hit it. Keep going. Turn over for a second. Oh yeah.
Sir, we really can't wait.
Do that thing where you flex.
That's crazy and sexual what's happening too, but the sex, the minimal amount of drugs.
That's not incestual. That's it, right? That's
It's his daughter's or his
If it's
nephew's.
if your daughter-in-law, what is that?
He's not related to her, but it still technically probably is.
It's pretty
Yeah.
shitty.
but it's not like
It's crazy.
It's at least shitty, at minimum.
It's a
shitty.
70-year-old man.
It's pretty evil that he's
It's nasty.
talking. Yeah. Well, which maybe her guy's not doing it right because he's following too many weird rules.
70.
She's like, I need to get-
I bet the coke and weed is can help. Yeah, I gotta be honest. It's probably.
I need to get jigged by a Papa Smurf over here, like the real Amish man. You know?
The feds spent the next few months building their case, eventually deciding to charge 16 members of the Bergholz community with federal hate crimes.
Oh fuck yeah!
What? Hate crimes?
Yeah, that's what it was because they were basically if
Hating
you were a
on
different sect of,
themselves?
if you were a different sect of Amish, they were going and doing this awful shit to people. So
Oh,
that,
The
that's
ar- the argument was that they were attacking someone
Yeah.
based on religious motives.
sorry,
Listen,
bro.
stop cutting their hair.
So this was
holding
all-
them down against their will.
I mean, these old guys though, these old guys in old age could have heart attacks. They could be damaged from it.
I
Like,
can't remember
it's
the
not a
name of the
joke.
statute, but it was named after someone and Matthew Shepard. When it was passed in 2009, it was like anti-hate crime legislation. And so they used that to charge these guys with hate crimes. But then the argument was, well, if it's inside the religion, but the whole federal case was, yeah, but your sect is
sects.
deviating.
Okay.
So
Man, I hate crimes. I wish people could just live together in harmony.
as the trial grew closer,
Hashtag
the
hate
defense team grew stronger due to Sam Mullet's sudden windfall of a $3.5 million contract to allow fracking on his land.
Oh, and he's fucking
So
pro
dope.
fracking. All right,
Love this
fuck
guy.
You,
This guy's a
Sam.
real jerk.
By the way, fracking has sent a ton of money into the Amish community.
Right, I've heard that.
A ton of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I'm real thrilled. Thanks for keeping it real.
What are
Amish
they
guys
doing with
and
all of it
girls.
though? They're using any technology to advance their.
No, obviously, like whenever you have a group of people that follow
You can
religious rule
buy
like this, you're gonna have a leader that's gonna be like
Who's using all the
taking
money
the money and doing
for
something
cocaine?
like, oh, I had no
yeah.
idea you were buying hookers.
Do you have any idea how many
Amish hookers.
rocking chairs and hobby horses you can buy with a $3.5 million contract?
Oh wait, only 3.5 million they're using. I mean, like, they get so much more money. I feel
Did
like.
you say Amish hookers?
That's lowballing them. Yes, I just saw.
I would check that out. AmishHookers.com. Why not, right? Have you ever seen the movie Witness? The women are beautiful.
Really?
They're all actresses though, but still.
They flooded the case with motions trying to get it thrown out on a First Amendment basis.
Moshes.
Denied. Or to ban the use of the word cult. Sustained. In July, the federal prosecutor offered all 16 defendants a plea deal that would result in short prison terms for some and probation for others. But one of the defendants insisted the devil was behind the offers and they should not bargain with him.
They're too dumb for their own good. I say lock them up, throw away the motherfucking key. Can't trust these drones.
They all
devil's here.
rejected the
Bring
offer.
the money.
Yeah, you want what the devil? You know where the devil is? When brainwashed people start doing evil shit in the name of God. Fuck y'all! Throw away the key, dog.
The federal prosecutor brought 4 major charges: conspiracy, assaults motivated by religion, the hate crimes, obstruction of justice, concealing evidence, and lying to the FBI.
Fuck y'all.
Ooh, they
Y'all-
lied too.
y'all
Wow.
fucked up.
In the end, it was Sam Mullet's own words that hurt him the most. During a TV interview about the attacks, he explained, quote, "It's all religion," which he thought would protect him because of the First Amendment. Instead, the feds used it to support their charge of a hate crime.
Yeah, dude.
After a 3-week trial, the jury went to deliberate over 10 possible counts applied in varying ways to 16 defendants. It was 5 days before they returned with a verdict of guilty on 87 counts.
Fuck yeah.
Damn.
How many of these assholes ended up in jail?
Sam Mullet was found guilty on 7 of the 10.
He's still in jail right now, isn't he?
They had to wait another 4 months for sentencing, during which Bishop Mullet adjusted to prison life.
How?
He told a reporter the other inmates called him OG. Quote, "I don't know what it means, but I guess it means something good."
What a fucking... Wait, the other inmates didn't know he was a total trash asshole, so they're like, this guy's cool.
Nah, but it's like he knows what prison life is because he already lives in that.
He's
kind of
around
lifestyle.
trash assholes, too.
Exactly.
Wow.
In the end, the judge handed down sentences ranging from 1 to 7 years for the 15 people who participated in the attacks. Sam Mullet got 15 years in federal prison.
70-year-old man.
But in 2014, the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals overturned the hate crime convictions,
Why?
citing bad jury instructions in regards to those charges.
Oh my God.
What, do they pity him and not listen to the whole fucking
Yes,
story? They should have
yes.
listened to this fucking podcast episode.
'Cause they're
Well, it's
Amish.
not out yet, but still.
But remember also that the hate crime stuff got overturned, but the lying to the FBI, the obstruction of justice,
Hey, what if our show was
conspiracy.
admissible as evidence in court, though?
they're like, Excuse me, sir.
Like if the jury had to listen to an episode of Crime about the crime so they could really get a grasp on what was going on before
They
they...
don't listen to contempt because it says "come" all the time.
Yeah. Come.
the judge would be like, sustained.
Ew.
And
So stained.
So stained.
sofa
So
stained.
stained. My jeans, my black pants, so stained.
So stained.
In 2015, the case was retried, and the 16 defendants received lowered sentences. Sam Mullet is currently still in prison, serving 129 months, just under 11 years.
Good. He should be there. Because,
He's an old
I mean, no
man. Let
offense.
him go.
No, he's old, but he's still dangerous, dude. He's old and he's fucking ruining
They're
people's fucking
cutting
shit.
hairs and he's making money on fracking. I don't give a fuck.
When the judge broke it
Those
down,
are fucking huge crimes, Moses. What are you talking about? He's making money off fracking's not really a
He's
crime.
not
making
beating
money
any
off-
black people. He's not barring transgender people from using his bathrooms that they use outdoors anyways.
All right, SJW only. I'm talking about rules where he's just, beating up old dudes and having their beards chopped off till they're bleeding, fucking all these fucking his relatives. I guess that's not really illegal. It's just kind of
No, that's
fucked up.
illegal.
But this guy's trash, dude. We got to keep him away from the rest of the public.
you're a trans person walking through Amish country, and someone's like, "Hello, I'm Zedediah. Here, come to my all gender outhouse."
Yeah.
You know what? You can say, "Just I'm good. Make that
Yeah,
for
I
whatever."
want more conflict.
I know. I honestly don't want splinters. Today's sources include Renegade Amish by Donald Craybill,
That's a cool name, too. Renegade
who also testified as an expert on the Amish during the trial, the Cleveland Plain Dealer, and of course, the evil robots at Wikipedia. And that is a story of Sam Mullet and the Bergholz Barbers.
Dude, it's that I can't believe the shit that those guys went through and actually achieved
Right?
before getting caught. And I can't believe that anybody could side with them, Moses.
How dare you?
I'm just saying that
We
dude,
know you're on his side.
I
we
am
saw
on
it
his
the whole
side.
way through.
Yeah.
Because he was smashing, and you're like, you know what? If you smash,
Big
I can't.
fan.
I
Big
can't
fan.
stop.
he's probably taking advantage of a bunch of naive people and fucking them over in the wrong ways, right? I mean, that's fucked up, dude.
I mean, but that's also the cult he was establishing.
It was, and there's a whole list. Like, we didn't get into a lot of the weird Amish things that went down, but basically he rejected like 25. There's a list of like 25 reasons why they didn't count as Amish anymore.
Oh,
That they
really?
put together, and a lot of it was like, hey, well, one of them might be, fucking your son's wife. That's kind of a problem.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of other stuff.
I mean, I'm saying it was incest happening. You said there wasn't. You lied.
well, it depends on.
we wanted to get you hard. Is that a
Depends-
crime?
depends on-
That
when
is
you
a
drop-
crime. Yeah.
Slaton, aren't you excited he uses crime so
It does make me feel really
beautifully?
good.
The way he says it?
Brian Moses, where can people find you on those interwebs?
Find me on verbalviolence.tv. Check out the Verbal Violence podcast. Also at Race Banning on Twitter. Verbal boxing on Instagram. And yeah.
You can follow the show on all social medias at CrimePod, CRiiiMePod. You can email the show with any story ideas you have, questions, dick pics, label those for Shefsky.
Please do.
That email address is crimepodcast@gmail.com. 1 I or 3 will work there, bro.
We got both email addresses. We achieved pretty good. right?
We're pretty ahead of the game,
We've
dude.
got multiple- you
We're
can-
pretty ahead of the game.
We actually should get
bro.
one though that has like 2 eyes and 4 eyes, just so we make sure that like in case someone hits too little or too.
We should
big.
get 15 eyes as well. Just get
A
all
bunch
the
of them,
eyes.
and just have them all go to that same email address. Guys, please hit the share button. Share this.
Oh, that helps so
podcast.
much.
It helps. It's been making a huge difference on our numbers, and we've been growing like crazy. Thanks for the 5-star reviews. If you could leave us one, that would be amazing. We got this one from Hunting, Kentucky. It's 5 stars, read by James Hetfield. Great, one of the best pods out there. Y'all are an amazing team.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me read it with this Irish accent I've been trying.
Read this one.
Read a different one.
Crime Made Funnier.
I've been trying
Read
to
that
work on
one.
this Irish accent for
Do it
for St. Patrick's Day. Which one?
Crime Made Funnier.
Most criminals are cut have made terrible decisions. Oh, I can't read.
Give me that back, you piece
I
of
can't
shit.
rean an Irish
We'll
accent.
do it another day. Thank
I-
you guys for listening. You guys.
You know what?
No,
Let's-
go ahead and read it. Okay, here we go.
No, but I've been working on the Irish accent, trying to get it down.
Oh, then you'd have this one down real well. Crime made funnier. Most criminals are caught have made terrible decisions. These fine gentlemen have no problem pointing out. A mix of witty humor and penis jokes, all rolled into... Oh, that got South
We
African.
do make penis jokes. That's accurate.
All rolled into plastic as to not leave stains. Keep it up, guys. Love the humor and the stories.
Ooh, yeah. For more stories, check out CRiiiME LiiiVE. A few tickets still remain.
Oh, yeah, CRiiiME
Saturday, March 17th.
And still
bruh.
a few tickets remain.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Whoa, whoa.
Bye, robot.
Bye, guys.